Shalom Akim. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahawashi, Bahashem Rakakwadash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom to the elect. This is Wisdom of Solomon 5 and 15. But the righteous live forevermore. Their reward also is with the Lord, and the care of them is with the Most High. The Lord have care for his elect. Alright, and when you look up the word care, alright, it means it's a noun, Old English, karu, siaru, sorrow, anxiety, grief. And when I read that, I was thinking about Yahawashi. Let me see. When Yahawashi wept, let me see. You gotta put in Jesus, but we know his name is Yahawashi. Show the scripture in the Bible. It says, St. John chapter 11 verse 33. When Yahawashi thought 32. Then when Mary was coming where Yahawashi was and saw him, she fell down at his feet, saying unto him, Lord, if thou hadst been here, my brother had not died. When Yahawashi therefore saw her weeping, and the Jews also weeping, which came with her, he groaned in the spirit and was troubled, and said, Where have ye laid him? They said unto him, Lord, come and see. Yahawashi wept, because the brother of Mary was Lazarus, whom the Lord, he had a he loved him, man. He had a what's the word? He had a care for him. Okay, that's why it says Yahawashi wept. The word wept is he shed tears. Yahawashi came in the flesh. This also proves that Yahawashi came in the flesh. Then said the Jews, Behold how he loved him. You see? So Yahawashi loved Lazarus, man. And hey, when you spiritually look at it, Lazarus, he was dead for a while, man. But in the story, it goes into actually, I'll just read it, man. Then said the Jews, Behold how he loved him. And some of them said, Could not this man which opened the eyes of the blind have caused that even this man should not have died? Yahawashi therefore, again groaning in himself, coming to the grave, groaning in himself, cometh to the grave. It was a cave, and a stone lay upon it. Yahawashi said, Take ye away the stone. Martha, the sister of him that was dead, saith unto him, Lord, by this time he stinketh, for he have been dead 4 days. Israel, when you go into Revelations 11th chapter, Israel was dead, 3 days and a half? After 3 days and a half, the spirit of life was entered into them. Alright, the elect. Yahawashi saith unto her, Said I not unto thee, that if thou wouldest believe, thou shouldest see the glory of God? Then he took away the stone from the place where the dead was laid. Alright, so he was definitely dead. Alright, after 4 days, the body begins to decay. And Yahawashi lifted up his eyes and said, Father, I thank thee that thou hast heard me, and I knew that thou hearest me always. But because of the people which stand by, I said it, that they may believe that thou hast sent me. And when he thus had spoken, he cried with a loud voice, Lazarus, come forth. And he that was dead came forth, bound hand and foot with grave cloths, and his face was bound about with a napkin, Yahawashi said to him, loose him and let him go. You see, so Yahawashi brought a man that was obviously dead. He brought him out of and he brought him back to life, man. You know, and we can look at it, well, the Lord has already done that for us, and through the Spirit, and he's going to do that to us physically, man. When that's why the scriptures say, distrust not the Lord in our low estate. And what was that? Sirach 3:18. All right, so now when you go into this definition, Yahawashi has sorrow, anxiety, or grief. All right, what goes into grief that he had for Lazarus? Also, burdens of mind, serious mental attention. In late Old English, also concern, anxiety caused by apprehension of evil or the weight of many burdens, from Proto-Germanic lament, grief, care. Source also of Old Saxo kara, sorrow, Old High German chara, wail, lament. All right, Gothic kara, sorrow, trouble, care. All right, so Yahawashi has much care for us, man. All right, I believe that's, let me see. I believe that's actually a scripture. Guess not, okay. This is the book of, let me see, Isaiah, I think it's 54. No, 59, Salakia. Isaiah 59:14, and judgment is turned away backward, and justice standeth for far off. For truth is fallen in the street, and equity cannot enter. Yet truth faileth, and he that departeth from evil maketh himself a prey. And Yahweh saw it, and it displeased him that there was no judgment. All right, so when all those fails, you know, hey, guess what? Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahawashi will step in to help you, man. You know, and he saw that there was no man and wondered that there was no intercessor. Like, nobody's going to stand up and fight for this innocent person. You know, like when you look into the history of Susanna, which through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahawashi, I just thought about it. The Lord had young Daniel raise up to speak against those elders that was having people be put to death wrongfully, man. But since Susanna, all right, which is a woman who feared the Lord and didn't want to go stain her name with the Lord held her down, man. So this shows us too, if we don't stain our name with the Lord, meaning you don't take the chip, all right, as our brethren also died for the Lord because not eating pork, you know, they didn't want to stain their name with the Lord, but then the Lord also always held them down, man. And he saw that there was no man and wondered that there was no intercessor. Therefore his arm brought salvation unto him, and his righteousness it sustained him. For he put on righteousness as a breastplate. All right, I want to grab the word sustained. Isaiah 59. What is that priest? Damn, it's lucky. I'm bugging. 59. That word sustain, right? To lean, to lay, to rest, to support. Samak. All right? So it says, and he saw that there was no man and wondered that there was no intercessor. Therefore his arm brought salvation unto him, and his righteousness it sustained him. For he put on righteousness as a breastplate, and an helmet of salvation upon his head. And he put on the garments of vengeance for clothing, and was clad with zeal as a cloak. All right? And he's going to use us to do that, man. When you go back into Wisdom of Solomon 5:16, all right, as we just read, I'll read it back at 15. But the righteous live forevermore. Their reward also is with the Lord, and the care of them is with the Most High. Therefore shall they receive a glorious kingdom, and a beautiful crown from the Lord's hand. For with his right hand shall he cover them, and with his arm shall he protect them. He shall take to him his jealousy for complete armor, and make the creature his weapon for the revenge of his enemies. You see? So the Most High is going to use you to put the fear of the Lord upon these people, man. You know? He shall put on righteousness as a breastplate, and true judgment instead of an helmet. You know? He shall take holiness for an invincible shield. His severe wrath shall be he sharpened for a sword, and the world shall fight with him against the unwise. Then shall the right aiming thunderbolts go abroad, and from the clouds as from a well-drawn bow shall they fly to the mark. And hailstones of full of wrath shall be cast out, a stone and hailstones full of wrath shall be cast out as of a stone bow, and the water of the sea shall rage against them, and the flood shall cruelly drown them. Yet a mighty wind shall stand up against them, and like a storm shall blow them away. Thus iniquity shall lay waste the whole earth, and ill dealing shall overthrow the thrones of the mighty. You know, and we're gonna have, you know, the front row seat to their judgment, man, the judgment of the wicked. You know, whether we die, you know, as Akim is going into, yeah, you know, as I say, hope for the best, but prepare for the worst. All right. And hey, the scriptures say, it's like, I know I'm kind of all over the place, but hey, man, the scriptures say they that died in the Lord shall rise first. You know, and we're gonna have a front row seat to Esau's judgment, just as Esau had a front row seat in our judgment. As a matter of fact, he was a part of it. All right. And the Most High said what? In the scriptures say an eye for an eye, man. So 1 Thessalonians 4:16, for the Lord First Thessalonians 4:13. I start at 12. That ye may walk honestly toward them that are without, and that ye may have lack of nothing. But I would not have you to be ignorant, brethren, concerning them which are asleep, that ye sorrow not. You know, because some brothers will have to be martyrs for the Lord. You know, you may think that the wicked has got away for putting their hands on the Lord's elect, even as others have no hope. All right, so don't sorrow as if, you know, without understanding, because the others that don't have understanding, you know, they think it's Esau's way or the highway, man. There's no way. There's no life after Esau. There's no life after death. For if we believe that Yahawashi died and rose again, even so them also which sleep in Yahawashi will bring. For if we believe that Yahawashi died and rose again, even so them also which sleep in Yahawashi will bring with him. For this we say unto you by the word of the Lord, that we which are alive and remain unto the coming of the Lord should not prevent them which are asleep. For the Lord himself shall ascend from heaven with a shout, with the voice of the archangel, and with the trumpet of God, and the dead in Yahawashi shall rise first. You know? So they're going to be the first ones to put a foot in Esau's ass, man. Then we which are alive and remain shall be caught up together with them in the clouds to meet the Lord in the air, and so shall we ever be with the Lord, man. You know? And going back into what? And going back into what we just read in I think that was Matthew's 11, or was it John 11, where they said if Yahawashi was here, you know, Lazarus would have never died, man. Going to show you that, you know, when we amongst Yahawashi, man, hey, nobody can touch us, man. Nobody. Okay? Wherefore comfort one another with these words. All right? This is Psalms chapter 142:1. Mashil of David, a prayer when he was in the cave. I cried unto Yahweh with my voice unto Yahweh did I make my supplication. I poured out my complaint before him, I shewed before him my trouble. All right, this is what's going on. Yahawashi, Yahawashi, Baba Kushah, please help me. All right, I poured out my complaint before him. I shewed before him my trouble. When my spirit was overwhelmed within me, then thou knewest my path, in the way wherein I walked, have they privily laid a snare for me. This is why Esau is making these slick, passageways, if you will, to discredit or defame or put a death warrant out for the elect, for Israel, all right, for the men of the Lord. I looked on my right hand and beheld, all right, and you have, I don't know if I cast confusion upon you, Akim, but Salaki, if I did, you got the elect, which are the 144,000. All right, you have the 1/3, which are the women and children. All right, and then you have the 2/3, which are the rest of you Israelites. All right, so the elect is the top tier, and that's who Esau is gunning for, man. He already got the 2/3. But he's trying to gun. He wants the ones who he don't have. When my spirit was overwhelmed within me, then thou knewest my path, and the way wherein I walked, have they privily laid a snare for me. I looked on my right hand and beheld, but there was no man that would know me. Refuge failed me, no man cared for my soul. I cried unto thee, O Yahweh. I said, thou art my refuge and my portion in the land of the living. Attend unto my cry, for I am brought very low. Deliver me from my persecutors, for they are stronger than I. Bring my soul out of prison, that I may praise thy name. The righteous shall compass me about, for thou shalt deal bountifully with me. And the Lord brought you in this truth, man, for a reason. All right, and that's why the brother in the camp, the leader of our camp, he always says, he made a beautiful point one time, is that the more you pray, the more faith you have, because you see that the Lord is working. Baba Kushah, Lord willing, please get me to my destination safely. Baba Kushah, Lord willing, please, keep me safe while I'm sleeping. Baba Kushah, Lord willing, please allow me to get a job so I can pay these bills. Baba Kushah, Lord is willing, please give me strength and allow me not to fear in the day of adversity, man. Baba Kushah, the water Tamyat, Tazawoya, Waga Alaya, which means please, thank you always, my strength, Tazawoya, Waga Alaya, and my power, or in my Redeemer. So with that, Lord willing, you Akim were edified. Shalom to the elect.